Yes, y'all. Welcome in to another episode of the Dumb Marks Podcast, episode 206. It's your favorite Saturday brunch bunch back at it again. Triple threat edition this week. Gentlemen, how we living? How we feeling? What's going on?
Well, it's going on. Just another week.
Just
Dragging
another
my
week,
foot, boy. Dragging my foot. That old man plantar fasciitis flared up, boy. Woo,
bro.
that was not fun.
Bro, you want to know? You want to know how I feel that I am officially like old and washed? So Thursday night, right? Couldn't sleep. Was upstairs, downstairs, couch, chair, bed. Just could not sleep. Right. Finally sleeping. I'm having some type of crazy dream. Right. Next thing I know, man, my calf muscle pulled Charlie Horst up like no other, man. Like I was downstairs screaming, like bed. Like I couldn't walk yesterday. I literally pulled my calf. I had a Russell Wilson, but I was sleeping. I wasn't pushing the sled at training camp. I was literally sleeping. Like I don't even know how I did it or what happened, but it is officially the worst pain that I felt in a really long time. And all I was doing was sleeping. So I'm washed to a T right now. Like not even out there. I don't even want to go outside. Like I'm just in defeat right now. Like
Right with you. Right
on
with you.
on IR. How you get IR sleeping? Like Craig lost his job on his day off. He got fired on his day off. How you go on IR sleeping? I feel like a major league baseball player. Get put on the IR for a hangnail. Like right now. Like I pulled my calf. It is
Mhm.
terrible, man. Terrible.
And then slowly and surely you just get put out the picture. Just
Bro.
like
Yeah. Some things gotta change in my life. I don't know what it is right now, but I've had the worst week ever. I was without a refrigerator from Sunday through until Thursday. You know, of course, the fridge breaks after you go to the grocery store, so I had to drop, I had to drop more money and replenish everything that we had just bought. Um, and it's just been, yeah, it's been one shitty thing after another this week. So I'm glad I'm potting to get my mind off of everything else that's got going on right now. Can come on here, chop it up with Jens in the chat, talk some, some pro wrestling, and have a good day. So obviously Chris is not here. Shout out to him and that long drive down to the Taekwon State. So Taekwon, if you see Chris down there, hit him up and let him know.
he has your shirt.
Yeah, he got it. Uh, yeah. So, uh, any other intro stuff? I got something new I want to unveil this week. Since I'm captain of the ship, I figure I'm going to bring something new to the table here, and we're gonna play a little wrestling roulette this week.
Okay.
Okay, wrestling roulette. All right. So I got 6 shots in the chamber. Wrestling roulette. I'm gonna throw it to each of you. Just give me a number 1 through 6, and that'll be the bullet that we'll be discussing. All right. So wrestling roulette, Jason, I'll let you take the first spinning shot. What you got? 1 through 6. What you want?
Give me 5.
All right, 5. So 5 is a local wrestling tie here. It's between the local wrestling company 880 Wrestling and Penn Brewery, which is one of our favorite breweries
Mhm.
in the area. So let me get the Twitter or the X machine pulled up, so I can read the official announcement here. Give me 1 second.
Shout out to the owner, Steve Nitch.
Shout out to Steve
Mhm.
Nitch.
Yep.
All right, where's it at here? We got the gun jam. Hold on. All right, here we go. So 880 Wrestling has formed a partnership with Penn Brewery to bring 3 live events this fall and winter. The second annual 880 Wrestling Series event will take place October 19th. Third annual Thanksgiving Eve special will be Wednesday, November 27th. And then lastly, the Unholy Holiday will take place December 20th. So
Interesting.
October 19th, November 27th, December 20th. Mark your calendars. Big stuff happening. Local wrestling scene here in Pittsburgh. I think
Yeah,
it's
but
good. I think it's a good thing that businesses are partnering up with wrestling companies, especially locals, local
Yes.
independents, to do a promotion like that. We know what Steve Nitz does down there at Penn Brewery, as well as wrestling wise in the local scene and local independent scene. So shout out to them for getting a collaboration done. Will you be attending any of these local indie events?
do we have a location?
So there's no location yet. More announcements to come. They just put the dates out for the three events itself,
Mm,
and the announcement for the collaboration. Head on over to. You can follow them on X at 880 Wrestling, um, and that way you can keep up to date if you're local here in the Pittsburgh area. So you make sure you don't miss those events. But yeah, no venues released to date yet. But
Mhm.
if I can get to him, I'm down to go because the last promotion he worked with, we had a good time there. It was I do believe Wrestle Pit.
yeah,
Yes.
Wrestle Pit. Shout out Lady Frost and Victor
Hmm.
Benjamin. We need Wrestle Pit back. I know they're
Yes, we
both
do.
extremely busy
Mm,
with what they got going on. But yeah, we need Wrestle Pit back. Because that event was a
It was fun. It was
it was fun
entertaining.
time.
Very, very
It
entertaining.
was indie wrestling like that.
Yes.
Like
Hmm.
that's exactly what you want when you go to an indie wrestling event.
Hmm.
You had some bigger names come in, you know, cheesy spots, merch, interaction, you know,
cheeseburger.
Hmm.
cheeseburger. We had one of the wrestlers on the show, and interviewed them prior to the event itself. So yeah, I'm
Hmm.
always down to support local wrestling. It's a good time, and some of those shows are the best shows that you'll see.
Yeah,
Yes. Just the interaction between the wrestlers and the crowd, especially the kids.
yeah,
Yeah, the
The kids
kids.
was
Yep,
eating it up.
yeah.
yep,
Hmm.
yep, yep. All right. So that was the first shot fired in the wrestling roulette. Donald, I'll let you go with the second shot.
We
Number
go
one through
number two.
six.
Number
Number
two.
two. All right. So number two, the Lucha Bros have reportedly signed with WWE and main roster bound. And I say reportedly because that was the reports yesterday. Today, reports are that no, they're still under AEW contract. They still have their AEW deal going on. They have not signed and will not be reporting to the main roster. Take the contractual situation out of it, whether they are signed with the AEW still or they have signed and going to WWE. If they go to WWE and they go directly to the main roster, what is the potential for the Lucha Bros in WWE?
I want to see them in the profits, but they're a team that I kind of didn't want in the not didn't want in the WWE, but like they're just an attraction themselves. They don't need storyline, nothing. You could just watch a match. You could just watch them wrestle for days.
Hmm.
So I was just expecting, stay at AEW, get your wrestling in, get your dream matches in. I was fine with that. Now, how would they come to WWE and be worked into storyline? I don't know. I don't want to be tagged into
LWO.
go a third faction, a
Uh-huh.
third Latino faction.
I'm interested to seeing them come
Hmm.
because it's just something different for them. Now, with them coming to WWE, you know how they work down at AEW. That's going to get cut back a lot.
Hmm.
They're not going to be able to do all those risky, type stuff
I think.
here. That's going to get held back.
That's why I would love to see him come through NXT and not main roster,
See, I
because then
don't.
you get to be more of yourself.
And then the tag division up in the main roster is, to me, is still not strong.
But if you're bringing in the Lucha Bros and reportedly bringing in Motor City Machine Guns, those are two more teams added into the tag team picture. Um, to add some depth there. What up, DJ? Um, yeah, that Lucha Bros about to be LWO. Um, I don't know. Look, did the Lucha Bros reach their full potential in AEW? No.
No, no,
Did
not
they
even
have
close.
memorable moments and matches?
Mhm.
Yes.
Hmm.
Is their run going to be known more for what could have been than what was? Absolutely. the Death Triangle never got off the ground because of COVID and pox injuries, and then Phoenix missed a lot of time. Penta was banged up too, so that trio's never really fulfilled its destiny as we thought it would have when those three got paired up. And AEW itself has faltered from a tag team perspective. I mean, they haven't done their tag team division any service in the last year and a half. So there was a lot of things going on. I think maybe on in the future, if you want to debate like whose AEW run failed more, the Lucha Bros or Santana and Ortiz. I know the situations are different, but both of those teams when they signed with the AEW, plus the Bucks, like it was like, come on, man. Plus FTR, you're like, dude, you got tag teams upon tag teams upon tag teams, and yeah.
At least when Ray and Phoenix were there, the division was at its peak, and they were champs.
Yeah,
you can't say the same for Proud and Powerful. They were just stuck in Jericho's
in the Jericho vortex, as he says.
Yeah, like I said, it will be good. And then how are the casual WWE fan gonna take to them? Because if the casual WWE fan don't know who they are, they're gonna be like, "Oh, this is another." Sorry to say, but person in the mask, group in the mask that's like LWO, that is like Legato. I mean, the hard WWE stands are gonna know who they are.
Does WWE have the deepest tag team division?
They don't show it.
I mean, I don't know. Like, yes, you have champs on both brands, but like when you look at truly the landscape of it, I don't know. But we'll see. Like I said, I am if all things considered, and they do end up signing with WWE, which is what the reporting allegedly states is going to happen once their AEW deal is done, then we'll see what Triple H does with them on the main roster, because I don't think the Lucha Bros are signing to go to NXT. I could be wrong, but
and then you have to have their vignette with Cody. Cody got to greet everybody who came from AEW up there.
Yeah, we'll see.
You look good. You're like, you look good.
So you'll have Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, and Phoenix. They'll look like the 5G bar.
The Death Circle.
And are him and Braun actually a tag team right now? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's see. All right. So that's 2 shots out of the wrestling roulette chamber. Taquan, DJ, anybody else in the chat? Give me a number between 1 and 6 and not 2 or 5. So 1, 3, 4, or 6. Wrestling roulette, 1, 3, 4, 6. Throw a number in the chat. 3. All right. 3. Taquan. Athena's title reign, 646 days and counting. So she is officially the longest ROH champion of all time.
You'll never know.
If a tree falls in the forest, doesn't make a noise.
There you go.
It's like I was shaking my head like, yeah, but then I was shaking my head like, nah. Like, you just feeling different about it. Like,
so what does this title reign actually?
It's not visible.
Yeah. What does this title reign actually mean? Like,
it means something for the record books they could put on their website.
It means she is ROH.
She is ROH, and
the current form of ROH. She is that's her brand.
Like I always say, if it ain't on TV, it ain't canon. Who is she? I'm being honest.
I mean, well, yeah, but so ROH doesn't have a TV deal. You can't apply that to them.
She's still
you can't sign up and
but you got Mark Briscoe on Dynamite every damn week.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you have the longest reigning champion in company history, and she's never seen or talked about. Why has she not had a women's match on Dynamite, Collision, Rampage? a pay-per-view, something like what. And she's put on banger matches.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best work character-wise and in-ring wise of her career, which nobody thought she would even have this part of her career after the Achilles injury that she had in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I feel like she's been done a huge disservice given the work that she's put in.
Very much.
And they didn't even make a big deal about it.
You told me.
See,
that's how
that's
I know.
the problem.
You told me.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the
I
problem.
knew she put clips in it soon, but yeah.
That's the problem. If we're if we're spotlighting it here, and you're not spotlighting it out there,
I'm on social media all morning. I log on here to find out.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know, man. It's bad. It's bad right
He was
now.
out here breaking news.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. So. All right, so that's the first half of Wrestling Roulette. We got 3 shots down, 3 more shots to go. We'll cover those after we cover our mushes of the week. So we'll do mushes first, negativity, get that out the way, and roll on the second half of positivity to wrap up the show. I got a fun game plan. All right, I got a fun game plan for us, so stick around for that because you're going to want to get involved. Little creativity required for this one. For you guys. So Jason, you're gonna have to think a little bit. All right. So with that being said, Wrestling Roulette out of the way. First 3 shots out the chamber. Let's get into mushes of the week this week and the week that was in pro wrestling. Donald, I'll go with you first. Who was your mush of the week?
My mush comes from NXT. CM Punk entering himself into this title fight. I mean, we can't always go to Chicago and then the first thing you think of is CM Punk.
Yeah, you can't.
No, you can't. No, you can't. Every time they come to Pittsburgh, you don't see Kurt Angle's name brought up all the time. It's just like, what is he doing there? Just because they're going to Chicago?
Yep. Just like the following week, Randy Orton's going to be there in St. Louis. Now, I don't know if this means that NXT is going to be traveling now all the time. Maybe it's just for the first 2 shows for the launch on the CW.
I heard they were leaving the Performance Center, so I don't know if they found it.
Allegedly, reportedly,
home down there, or they're
to Vegas, or have a Vegas addition to the PC in Orlando. So they'll have 2 PCs. They'll have one in Orlando and then one in Vegas, is what the reports are. But
yeah, it's just you have a dry ass storyline going on Monday Night Raw. I don't need to see your tired dry ass on NXT too.
Now I will say, as much as gone on with him and McIntyre and the length that they've been doing this, Monday night, his promo, short, sweet, got to the point. I don't need nothing else. Like, you sold me on the sale based on that promo. I'm ready to see it and have that be the end of the feud. So, not to mention, it got Drew back on Twitter and TikTok playing his shenanigans. So it was well worth it. But and it was weird though Tuesday night because he came out for Julia and Roxanne because Roxanne confronted him. They had their back and forth. Julia comes out. And then later on, it's announced that he's going to be the guest referee for Paige and Trick. And it's like, well, why are you out there for the women's if you're going to be the special guest referee for Paige and Trick?
It was just all weird. It was just nothing flowed from me that night. Nothing.
Yeah. It was just like, again, reverting back to a couple years ago, CM Punk is on my damn nerves.
Tyler Burton was like the most random of random.
Yes, it was.
That's the Pat McAfee effect, I guess. I don't know. Like,
at least he did his job.
Yeah, he did. He got hit. He got heat.
Hey, I'm gonna question those loafers he had on.
Well, listen, we know with the fits that NBA players walk into the arena with, we got a lot of questionable fashion sense.
Pennywise shoes. What is
he? So yeah. NXT had to move venues.
Mm-hmm.
due to poor ticket sales. They had a 17,000 arena originally booked. Ticket sales are roughly, I think, maybe 2 or 3,000. So what Dynamite sells. So they moved venues to make it seem bigger than what it actually is. And people are crapping all over them for doing that. But I'm like, well, why have an empty arena if you have the ability to change?
Yeah.
Like if you're consistently selling 2,500, 3,000 tickets, then book 5,000 seat venues.
This is exactly what we're telling AEW to do.
Yeah.
Not to shit on you, just to make it feel like a more intimate feeling.
Wait, that was the original plan was for Punk to announce his involvement in the men's match originally.
Yeah, and then they came.
Okay.
Roxanne came out and interrupted.
Well, still, I don't like it. I don't like it.
But it was just random and off. Didn't flow.
Yeah. Westbrook might be the most egregiously dressed NBA player out there, and there's some really bad fits in the NBA for sure. All right, so we got CM Punk out there for one mush of the week. Jay, who's your mush of the week?
I was gonna go with NXT too, but I'll throw that segment last night with Roman and Cody.
Really?
In the Georgia Tech Stadium.
It was cut good. It looked good, but I'm like, how long is this damn segment? This could be a match. Like
8 minutes. It's a movie. It's a mini movie.
8 minutes?
Yeah.
I felt longer than 8 minutes, man. I finished a bowl of popcorn. That was fucking longer than 8 minutes. I was like, man, you can say this is one of the ones you say for social media.
Look, that segment last night, I was like, oh, is that going to be my Mount Rushmore? Like, because here's what I took away watching that segment last night. It was so over the top dramatically that I absolutely loved it.
What was the budget on that?
Like I bled on this field. This is my field. That means this is my stadium. That means this is my city. Cody's like, you play football here, but I live here. This is my home. You bled all over the place. Roman's like, all right, what do you want? And then Roman pulling at Cody's like, oh, 7 SUVs. Yeah. Subtle. Right. And of course, Cody had to pull up in the white sports car.
Yeah.
With the SUV, right? So, but yeah, I like
it was good, but it could have been done for social media. That was too much time.
Here was my takeaway, and I'll tie it into AEW, and it encapsulates the extreme aspects of the fan bases, right? If you were to sum up what AEW is right now today, I would put on Ricochet and Beast Mortos match. WWE Roman and Cody segment. If you just look at those two in a vacuum together, side by side, that's literally the definition of the companies. Not saying that WWE doesn't have very good matches, but like that's the difference. That's the we're pro wrestling. This is where the best wrestle. We're sports entertainment. We're more than wrestling. Like we're
movies. That's why it's the alternate.
Yeah, like
it's an alternative. Everything's an alternative.
That is the perfect example of basically the stamp for what each company is right now. Mm-hmm. And fan bases that hate WWE are going to point to Cody and Roman, and fan bases that hate AEW are going to point to Ricochet and Mortos. And that is the clearest picture definitively that I've seen a comparison drawn between the two companies in the same week at the same time. Like I immediately was like, oh, this is exactly who each one is. And you can like both.
Yeah, it's okay.
There's no problem. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with liking both because, but that is in a nutshell. Those are the perfect definitions for what each company is. So you got Roman and Cody on your mush.
Just 'cause it felt like it was forever. I was like, this could be a match, man.
So good. It was so good. I
It
watched
was good.
I watched
It,
it.
it was long, but it was good.
Saying, he's like, oh, this is my okay. You got that.
It was
And then Roman, like, and then
over there's
Cody,
the Omni where generations of my family fought. It was like the Omni's not there
this is my
anymore.
oh yeah, you got that. Okay. What do you want?
Cody stepping in. It's not yours to take.
Mm-hmm.
Roman, you're in my way. You're in my way in life. I was like, oh, cinema. Give these boys an Emmy. This is great TV television right here. You don't get storylines like this on Breaking Bad. What are we talking about?
The whole time I'm watching, I was thinking, like, how many times did they cut in to get that walk across the field? They had a million different angles just to walk across.
Hey, I will say,
Cody, bringing back to what he said last year. You're going to be a chief with no tribe. He was like,
callbacks.
Yep.
Callbacks.
And look at you now. Look where you standing. Man with no country. He called himself a mercenary.
Yep. And I will say,
out there solid Big Boss and Metal Gear.
If you're paying attention on social media, there was a certain post by a certain wise man that was mentioned on an airplane with hashtag peace of mind. So we're getting Heyman back in the fold soon, hopefully, to add addition to it. But I like the wrinkle of what it led to in the main event with KO and him picking up the chair and looking like he's going to turn on Cody.
Mm-hmm.
Cody coming in for the hug.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just it's story-based driven television, and it got me wanting to tune back in. So
since we're still on the bloodline, that was my initial. Now that it came to my mind, my initial jabroni was Rikishi. Just log off. Just log off. I don't know what you're doing, and when Jay loses again, you're gonna have a meltdown.
But not only that with the Jay stuff, but like, is he working everybody with the Jimmy tweets?
But yeah,
that's what.
Like, I didn't see nothing else. I think Jay might have clarified something, but I don't know. Like, is that just a work to,
He don't want Jay in the love angle. He booked himself as referee in Jimmy and Jay's match that didn't even happen. Like, log off.
Hey, Taquan, I would not be mad if we get Armando Estrada out there. Just with the ties with Umaga.
Painted on beard.
Yeah, Rikishi is the knowing dad at Little League. Absolutely. That's the greatest callback in depiction of how Rikishi's acting right now. Yeah, my son's not playing. Blah blah blah. Stick his ass out in right field. Put him in right field. Yeah, I don't know. So if there is something going on with Jimmy, definitely prayers up. But I don't know if that's a work or a shoot. So we'll see. We're starting. After this Bad Blood pay-per-view, we're going to be full on towards Survivor Series.
Mm-hmm.
They're already dropping commercials for it. So
yep.
We know we're getting the cell match. We just don't know who's going to be in it. Obviously, we think it's Bloodline Civil War. So
LWO and Legato.
Yeah. Oh man. My mush of the week. Why is Hook still wrestling jobbers in squash matches? Like hasn't he not moved up from that? Like he's a 5'7" cruiserweight, and you got him squashing people consistently like he's Big Van Vader. But like, can we move on to actually having him in actual storylines and stuff? Just having him come out and squash people until he fights his next quote unquote big name opponent does nothing for him at all. It don't elevate his status at all. What's the point of it?
As long as he's tied to that belt, he ain't going anywhere.
The one time I did enjoy him when he was with Samoa Joe.
Yeah, like Joe having to go film Twisted Metal season 2, like hurt. I think really hurt Hook. Like I sent that tweet out on Wednesday. I'm like, losing Joe was the worst thing to happen to Hook because Their vibe and dynamic was working. They were the
Yeah.
other guys. They were Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. Like that banter. Where's Shibata been since then? Because Shibata was the third piece with the voice recordings, and it was a home run between all three of them.
Yes.
So like, don't stop booking hook and squash matches. You're doing the same. See, and this is the other thing that stood out to me Wednesday night. Tony Khan consistently books the same formula for the same people over and over and over again. Like if you really look at certain wrestlers, he does the same thing for them every single time. Hook, it's always squash match. My next opponent is on commentary talking shit with my dad back and forth. We have the match. I win. I move on to the next jobber. My next challenger sits at commentary, talk shit to my dad. I win. Move on. Like that's
Cycle.
literally what Hook's run's been. And it's the same with a bunch of wrestlers in AEW right now. So like we got to come up with something better creatively than hook and squash matches from the 27-man creative team in AEW. So that was my mush this week. Did Chris send in a mush?
No, he said he ain't watch anything.
Okay. I didn't think he would with what was going on.
Hey, when Chris go on vacation, he go on vacation, boy.
Yeah.
He turn it all on. Do not
Let's
disturb.
Let's get these last shots off for Wrestling Roulette. Jay, I'll throw it to you. Wrestling Roulette. Give me number 1, 4, or 6.
1.
1. All right. So allegedly, reports came out this week that Miro has requested his release from AEW. I've seen a lot of chatter this week that Miro is a bench player, and it doesn't matter that he requested his release. Let him go because he's not going to change the needle at all. To that, do you think Miro is a bench player or a starter in the lineup that should be consistently in the lineup each and every single week?
Look, I hate, not say I hate. I don't care for Miro. I just hate just to hate. But when he was a TBS champ, I will give him credit.
TNT.
TNT, when he was a TNT champ, I will give him credit. He was one of the most important holders of that belt. Felt like it meant something. So he is a role player.
He's a role player. I think he's a starter, but he's just injury prone. Yeah, I think he's a starter. He's just injury prone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a ton of injuries, and what they say, your availability is your best asset.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be available. If not, you just get moved on.
I James Harden is not a bad guy. Can't carry a team on his own, but he's definitely a superstar. Look, for me, Jay, I completely agree with you. Miro had by far the best run as TNT champion.
Yes.
That belt at that time was arguably meant more than the AEW world title, and there was a potential matchup there for him and Kenny Omega. Now they went the Danielson route. Danielson was the first one to beat Miro. But Miro has had injuries. He has had time off to go film some movies and TV stuff. The divorce and all that came out, separation. So there was a lot of stuff outside of the wrestling ring itself that may have caused some of the issues with Miro. But I don't see. He was your best TNT champion, and he was one of the most over guys in WWE on multiple occasions. Rusev Day was the hottest thing in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
He
got it over himself.
Yeah, got it over itself. The look is there. He can cut a promo. When he went to AEW, the whole thing was Miro can't cut a promo. He can't talk on the mic. It's like, no, he was legit one of the best talkers in AEW. Vince just never put a microphone in his hand.
He did show me that. I was impressed with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me Gunther and Miro and Breaker and Miro. There's a whole bunch of guys that I would like to see Miro work now back in WWE. You know, Tony Khan's roster is bloated as it is, and he keeps signing people. So if you're not gonna release people to at least save money on the books, then what are you doing? You're just
Yeah,
giving guys paychecks. There's no reason why Miro, Wardlow, and Ricky Starks should not be on television each week.
Yes, I agree.
true.
Wardlow, your best TNT champ, or Miro, your best TNT champ in title run. Wardlow was the most over guy in all of pro wrestling. All of pro wrestling. And then you cut him off at the knees, not once, not twice, but 3 times by the way you booked him. Ricky Starks is a 5-tool player across the board, has everything. Can
Charisma
talk,
out the
can wrestle,
world.
charisma out the world. The it factor, legitimately. I know Bobby Roode went by that, but you look at Starks and you go, he has it.
Mhm.
And now the narrative is out there. Miro and Starks are difficult to work with. All they do is turn down creative. They don't want to do nothing. They're just trying to ride out their contracts. Like, all right, maybe that's the truth. But would you have any faith in creative right now?
No, because it's the same people on Dynamite every week.
So take the Ricky Starks situation. When I was reading it, it was he didn't want Big Bill to lose.
Right. He wanted to elevate Big Bill.
I mean, what you say, that is difficult to work with, but at least he feels like at least he feels like he's looking out for another wrestler. Because where's Big Bill now?
He's with
You know,
Jericho. Shout out to Big Bill, 5 years sober. Coming up the next month, I think he said. Completely, turned his life around from where he was out. So shout out to him. Kudos to him. Fighting through that, coming out better on the other side. And that's another guy. Like, why haven't you put a rocket ship on him?
So many people.
So if say Bobby Lashley does go to AEW,
He'll go fight Keith Lee.
you can't mess that up. There's no way you can mess that up as a big guy.
They proved it already.
Yep.
If you mess up Bobby Lashley, then you just need to be like dissolved as a company.
All right. Next shot fired. Wrestling Roulette Donald 4-6.
Number 4.
Number 4. So reportedly, Raw and SmackDown will both be 3 hours starting in January. Now, SmackDown allegedly will be 3 hours for the first 6 months they're on USA, and then after that, go back down to 2 hours. But let's leave that premise off. Let's just go with starting January, Raw and SmackDown will both be 3 hours. Good, bad, indifferent, care, don't care. What's it going to mean from the quality of the product on television?
Bad.
Ugh. It ain't gonna matter. They're gonna do what they want to do anyway. But I mean, they better have some stories and stuff lined up for that extra hour. I mean, I know it's gonna be all commercial and ad based, but that's what it's there for.
So we've been conditioned for how many years now that to watch wrestling for 3 hours regardless, right? Like Raw's been 3 hours for how many years? So
And even before that, Nitro.
yeah, I mean SmackDown switching over to 3 hours isn't that big of a deal.
On a weekend, yeah, not big of a deal, but add another hour to wrestling.
That's the thing. Like if you just watch only AEW and WWE, you're at 12 hours of programming a week, not counting pay-per-views. Or 11 hours not counting pay-per-views. So I don't. That's a lot. Well, I mean, we saw what WWE did with with Jeff Hardy and Scott Hall at times, making them drink beer, and it's like, yo, why would you even put them in that situation?
Yeah.
But, so yeah, I don't know. We'll
It ain't gonna matter. It's just something else that we have to watch.
I mean,
Someone fall asleep on.
yeah, like as much as I try to consume everything, it's getting to the point where it's not feasible to literally consume everything. Like you're gonna have to read recaps. Um, you're gonna have to watch on Hulu. Although Hulu's deal is up
That's all
next
that.
September.
Yep.
Um,
The fast
and
forward
so,
button. You're gonna have to do something.
did you see once the Hulu deal ends, SmackDown will then go to Peacock, but they won't put it on Peacock for 30 days after it airs. So
What's the point? I ain't gonna watch that episode for a month. The storyline's already outdated by
I'm never
then.
going back to watch that episode. If it's
Yeah.
me.
yeah, you gotta wait 30 days. I mean, what
30
is it?
days. The
What
storyline's
is it?
stale.
Is this going to Blockbuster to buy a pay per view? It happened
gotta
3
go,
months ago.
they gotta go that route first.
Maybe this is just me, but if I missed it that day and I don't catch it the next day, I'm not catching it at all. Missed it.
Yeah.
If it don't get watched within a 24-hour period, it ain't getting watched.
Right. All right, so that leaves one shot left in the chamber, and this one is not wrestling related, but I threw it in here just to make Jason mad. So shot number 6 in the wrestling roulette wheel this week is Dave Portnoy, the One Bite Challenge here in Pittsburgh. Reviewed about 7 or 8 pizza shops. One Bite, everybody knows the rules. Came out and said Turner's tea is the best iced tea in the country, Jason.
You know all shit.
Now,
Damn,
stand on it.
He must
Turner,
have black and gold.
Turner's
He must have black and gold. He didn't have regular
Turner's
Turner.
tea, best tea in the country, hands down.
You're crazy.
So yeah, there you go, Dave. Stamp of approval
It's another
from
reason.
El Presidente himself at Barstool. Turner's tea, best tea in the country, hands down. Like I said, I did that one literally just to make Jason mad.
He probably wasn't even in order. He waited. He didn't even have an order. He's just like, 6? Yeah.
No, it was the order. I'll send over the note section. I literally had it at 6. So yeah. All right. So that was wrestling roulette. Don't know if the guys will pick that up, but I'll continue to do that.
Yeah.
I'll continue to do that whenever I host the show each week. Where are you at? The Rhode Island or Connecticut? Where are you at, DJ? You got to be in Connecticut if you're the pizza capital of the country, allegedly, according to Portnoy, because he only hands out 9s in Connecticut. All right, so wrestling roulette down, mushes down. Let's get into Mount Rushmores this week. Some positivity, some things that stuck out and stood out to be the best of the week that was in pro wrestling. Donald, kick it down to you again. Who you got on your Mount Rushmore this week?
My Mount Rushmore is actually New Day. I'm liking this little divide between Kofi and Xavier. Finally getting them out the stupid comedy stick that they always do. Give it a little brushing up, It was like, hey, you don't trust me? Yeah, don't tell me about the game plan with you and the LWO and all that. Man, we never needed help before. Everything with E. A lot of big E talk. So I don't know what's going on, but I like this. Good little brush up.
Something different.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, after what, 10 years, 12 years to get a fresh coat of paint, like it's way long overdue. So
did they hit the anniversary yet?
I'm not sure. I have to go back and check to see when their actual formation.
They didn't break up on the anniversary.
Yeah.
DJ said Connecticut.
I'm not mad at it at all. My only thing is like if you're forecasting it out, because E's out of the picture, I don't see E coming back to wrestle again.
I don't either.
If they split and go their separate ways, Kofi's already up there. Woods isn't a spring chicken either, but do they get lost in the sauce separately?
I think Woods needs that push. I don't think Kofi will ever be lost, but Woods needs that push.
They've been there for a long time. Time for somebody new to take the spot.
Yeah, I'm not mad if you're gonna usher in somebody else in that New Day role, but I'm just more worried like if they split, it's not a Jannetty Michaels situation where you have one that's to get the rocket ship and go off and one gets left behind. Like they're both well established, tenured WWE superstars. Like, you know, I don't foresee either one getting higher than mid card scene if they're off on their own. Where at least if they stay a tag team, you have the chance of them winning titles again. Would you have preferred them turn heel or run this split angle between Woods and Kofi?
I would prefer the heel angle.
Deal.
That's what they started as. They started
The
as heels.
Because if they break up, the thing I'll miss is their presence in the tag team division because they were they were the New Day, but they were still putting over young people or bringing young people up, giving them great matches, putting them on. You won't have that.
Yeah, I think I would have preferred to see them heel and go like full blown heel. Like, everything that was opposite of New Day, but still call themselves New Day. So, you know, relish in the negativity instead of standing in the positivity. Would have been something different to see from them because they've been, you know, a la baby faces for how long?
Forever, it seemed like.
So, but we'll see what happens. I'm not bad with putting Kofi and Woods up there on Mount Rushmore this week, given what they've done today and this week. I think this week advanced it more than what has been, and they've had to pivot because of the Odyssey Jones stuff.
Yeah.
So who knows where the changes are now going to lie because what they originally had planned, they had to abruptly end. Um, it's very true. Jinder and Drew, and you had Kofi and E. Now, total world title reigns. I mean, Kofi and E both held it once.
Mm-hmm.
Drew's always had it. He's had it multiple times, and Jinder had it once. So I guess totals you can say, but I mean, each group had two members win it. You probably got a better chance of Xavier Woods winning a title than you do Heath Slater. He's out there running daycares now for all his kids. So, all right, Jay.
I got Bianca and Io. Their chemistry and that match they put on Monday was great. Loved it.
It was good.
That was
they're in the tag right now, so I don't know how this will play out, but they need to be once they're singles, first thing, go back at it.
Yeah, it was a reminder of hey, we're still two of the very best.
Yeah, we can do this.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad that they got the time that they got. I wish more women would get that type of time on a consistent basis. But yeah, that was one of the more entertaining matches of the week for me.
And then Io with the win shocked the hell out of me. Because Bianca don't lose. So they pulled that. I was like, okay, where are they going with this?
Right. Yeah, no, they definitely stepped up. That match, that's a really good TV match.
Yes.
Right? Like
Every
you walk,
word.
yeah. If you walk away from that saying you didn't like that match, I don't know what you're watching in wrestling because there was nothing about that match that should be negatively viewed at this point. I don't know if that. I mean, are we getting Bianca and Jade and against Io and Kyrie again? Like we're running that back.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like.
Still not the best look for the women's tag team division.
No.
You're just circling between the unholy union, Damage Control, and Bianca and Jade. It's not.
They keep teasing NXT. Step down there.
Why not?
Step down there.
Mm-hmm.
Bianca has the NXT pedigree and history behind her, so throw them down there for a feud.
The crowd will go crazy for her.
Absolutely. And then you get Jade's entrance down there. Jade's entrance anywhere, pretty much. So, all right. My Mount Rushmore this week, like I said, I was debating because I really wanted to put Cody and Roman on there just because. But I'm gonna go with Big Meaning Men slapping meat. We got Bronson and Braun, double B's, out there tore it up this week. Like just physicality all over the board. Fighting all through the arena, golf carts flipping over, splashes. Run, when Bronson ran across the crates and jumped on Braun and put him through the table, I'm like, what is happening right now? Like, this is complete madness. Like, it reminded me of, you remember when, I think it was when Big E and Sheamus were fighting in the back with the cakes and the tables, and then they ended up in the parking lot through the cars and everything else. Like, but yeah, no, Braun and Bronson definitely for me was the match I enjoyed the most this week, right?
It wasn't even a match.
Yeah, I just, but that, like, that was, yeah, I loved everything about that. Now, Dynamite had some definite contenders for sure for me on the short list with Ricochet and Mortos, and then the trios match. Even though I hate the way that they set it up, because it's like, all right, you're getting Takeshita and Okada, and we already have Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher against the Bucks, but like that match itself, to me, Takeshita stood out the most in that match. Like, he got to be the guy to take the belt off Okada.
Yeah,
I don't want to see nobody else do it. It got to be him.
What did I call? You didn't pin me. What is that fatal four-way? You didn't pin me.
So, all right. So that was Mount Rushmore and Mushes of the Week, as well as a little wrestling roulette. So let's dive into this week's game of the week. All right, we're going with Creator Wrestler 2K24 edition, right? You're building your own wrestler. Now, this is each one of these categories, you're taking a previous wrestler and applying it to your wrestler, right? So you got talking and promo ability, style, charisma and aura, theme music, and finishing maneuver. So style, are they a technician? Are they a brawler? Are they a high flyer? Right? Theme music, actually picking a wrestler's theme music to apply to them. And then what finishing maneuver you want to use. So with that being said, I'll go first if you guys want me to go first to give you time to think. This is my game, right? Talking and promo wise, give me Jake the Snake Roberts. So the low, raspy, draw you in, slow. You gotta listen to every word I say, right? Style, I'm going with a submission-based wrestler. Charisma and aura, give me Roman as the tribal chief. Theme music, give me Roman's theme music. And then my finishing maneuver is going to be Conan's Tequila Sunrise from WCW. So that is my creator wrestler.
Talking promo, give me The Rock. 2K24 style, always pick brawler. Charisma and aura, give me Mojo Rawley. Don't hate. That's my guy. Theme music, Ultimate Warrior, finish the move, the Pro River Plunge.
Oh, I'll take that. I'll take that.
If not that, it got to be the super kick that bleeds you. That's it. From 2K.
Oh man, talking promos. Give me DX Hill, Shawn Michaels. Style. Give me technician. Charisma. I will take. I'll take the Repo Man.
It had no
Yes,
charisma
he
and
did.
aura at all.
Yep, he did. Hey, mess around, I steal your shit.
It was
Theme music, Bobby Roode's It Factor music. Love that theme music.
Yo, yeah,
missed that.
yeah, that Factor music definitely slapped. Yo, you gave a job description for charisma and aura. You gave an actual job. I'll repost up. That's not charisma and aura. That's a LinkedIn job description.
Finishing maneuver will be the Rude Awakening. One of the most devastating moves, like optic wise, ever.
Not bad, not bad, not bad for creator wrestler. Um, this is tremendous. Yeah, you guys got a little. Now I did go like completely silly at one point. I wasn't sure if I was going to come on here and like give it a serious go like I did, or if I was just going to bring the shits and giggles and completely make it you know uh, make a shit show out of it. So in that instance, since both of you guys went that route with some of the things that you guys had, right? Um, Talking and promo wise, I'm gonna go with the Brooklyn Brawler. Style, it'll be a high flyer. Charisma and aura, Teddy Long. Theme music, Doink the Clown. And my finishing maneuver will be the Bushwhackers double arm whack. Promo Ricochet, Style, Scripts, Aura, Carlitos, Bodyguard, Jesus, Team, the $1 billion.
The $1 billion.
And finisher, J.O.'s trip. There you go, Taquan. I'll take that.
Hey, look, he hit Braun with that spear clean, so it's getting better.
I'll take that. Now, what's funny is hopefully somebody's going to take these creator wrestlers and actually build them out, and it might be me, potentially. So keep these coming if you guys got. Now, do you guys got any shits and giggles one? Just throwing them out there randomly like I did.
Talking a promo, Kane with the voice vibrator.
The voice vibrator's crazy. Pause. Oh, you can't say voice vibrator again.
Style would be high flyer. Charisma, give me Canadian Bret Hart when he was heel. Theme music, give me Kerwin White. and finish,
I take my coffee by the pool.
And finishing mover is the schoolboy.
No, the oldest maneuver in pro wrestling.
Schoolboy off the top rope.
Yo, trying to hit a schoolboy off the top rope is crazy.
Wavy got one.
All right, DJ. What we got, DJ? Talking Enzo. Okay. Style wrestler Julius Creed. All right. Okay. Charisma. Aura of 2008 Jeff Hardy. Not bad. Theme music. Burning My Light. Randy. Yep. Finishing move. Top rope swinging brainbuster like Kevin Owens does.
Okay.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
What's the list again?
I'll take it. The list: talking and promo, style, charisma, aura, theme music, and finishing maneuver.
Talking, give me Festus. Style, give me Old Bob Backlund.
The old age
Bob Backlund.
The one where he beat Brett for the title. That one. Look at his hand. Look what I do.
Charisma and aura, James Ellsworth. Theme music, give me Macho Man Randy Savage. Finishing move, the Cattle Prod. We'll go past the finger club with Dude. Give me the Cattle
Prod. Great.
I could have put up every incarnation of Drew Gallows.
That's tremendous. That is tremendous.
You just keep going on and on with this now.
Yeah, we should have just did. This was the show. Create wrestlers. This is the show.
Save it for Chris. We gotta have Chris do his homework for next week.
Yeah.
Do Zach Gowen? Is that a style wrestling?
I couldn't think of his name. That's what
That is style wrestling.
I will say the anything else from the creative wrestler here? Taquan, you got a serious one coming? While Taquan's filling out his serious creative wrestler entry, couple final thoughts here to wrap up. I thought Joe Tessitore had a bang up job Monday night.
He did good.
Yeah, I thought Monday night was great. His reaction during the Kofi New Day, Woods with the pin, the referee outside, him going on about it. And then I thought the line of night for me was when he said to Wade, "You're cringeworthy glazing of dirty Dom."
Yeah.
I lost it.
And, like him doing with the yeet stuff.
Yeah.
Him getting on Wade about all that. Yeah. It's getting better.
Promo Raven, style technician, Aura Taker. See, Taker was my first pick for Aura. Like that theme, Voodoo Child. Okay, finisher, cookie. That's a solid creative wrestler.
Yeah, it
right
is.
there.
Mm-hmm.
And put the strap on that guy. For sure. So
I didn't even know Raven cut promos. The TV off when that man came on.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought Tessitore had a great week this week. Continuing to get better and better. Jericho, Jericho, debut Jericho. That's it. No more submission. EJ wins the game. EJ wins the game.
The list of Jericho.
The list of Jericho right there. So yeah, but no, I thought Tessitore had a really good job this week. I enjoyed Taquan. I enjoyed even though the story or the match makes no sense based on other things surrounding it, but I enjoyed the video package for Nigel and Danielson. Again, showing more of that history, the blood feud that those two have between each other, what it means to Nigel from that standpoint. So keep up with that. Hopefully it just gets to the point where, Danielson comes back and says, screw the clearances. This is personal. And we get the match at Grand Slam from that standpoint. So finisher, test the mic. Oh, this. I thought about my finishing maneuver to be the backslide. But yeah. The Jericho creator wrestler was
yeah.
tremendous DJ. And then one other final thought for me. This is outside of pro wrestling, but did you see what Shohei Ohtani did the other night?
Who could?
I don't think That is the greatest single game offensive performance I think there has ever been in Major League Baseball.
I never seen that stat line before.
He went 6 for 6, 4 runs, 3 home runs, 10 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, and is now the member of the 51-51 club, which he is the only member of. 51 home runs, 51 stolen bases. And people are still out there arguing that Aaron Judge has had a better season than him.
No, not even close. Unreal. Just unreal.
That's insane.
Still won't win though.
Oh, the Dodgers ain't gonna win the World Series. Come on now. That's already written in stone. Every year they got the best team.
They're starting to get healthy, so we'll see. And the Pittsburgh Pirates officially clinched another losing season. They have 3 winning seasons since 1995. 3. You want to talk about the drizzling shits?
I'm not gonna say anything.
We're the Cleveland Browns of baseball.
Don't say we. There ain't no I in this mug. Oh, there ain't no I in this. Don't say we.
You can't jump ship. You like long, man.
Shit been jumped since '92, buddy.
Yeah. So
It's a career finisher.
Man's on fire right now. DJ's not missing in the comment section. That's tremendous. That is tremendous.
When does that documentary drop?
25th.
Okay.
So, Hills is on Netflix. If you haven't watched Hills, Stephen Amell was on Chris Van Vliet interview this week. So head on over to YouTube, check that out. Good interview there. Anything else, final thoughts wise, that you guys want to throw out there before we wrap up and get out of here for the week?
Nope.
All right. As always, thanks, fellas, and everybody else that tuned in today for episode 206 of the Dumb Marks podcast, Technical Difficulties. And that's a play on AEW's trying to launch the actual vignette package with Nigel McGuinness. It took them 4 times before they actually got it right in the truck. Like Excalibur started to move on something else, and then they pulled it back up and started playing it again, and it actually worked. It just made it look terrible. But thanks for tuning in again. Email the show at dumbmarkspod@gmail.com. Head on over to prowrestlingtees.com/dumbmarkspod. Pick up some merch. We'll give you a live shout out on air. Find us on all social media platforms at dumbmarkspod. Head on over to Spotify. Like and subscribe. Head on over to YouTube. Like and subscribe. Make sure you get notifications when we go live each and every single Saturday morning at 11 a.m. And with that being said, some positivity for the week. Every night we go to sleep without a guarantee of living tomorrow, yet we still set an alarm to wake up. That is hope. Every night we go to sleep without a guarantee of living tomorrow, yet we still set an alarm to wake up. That is hope. And with that, I hope each and every single one of you have a good week. And until next time, I'm a Mark, you're a Mark, tell a Mark. You can catch us around the way.